Yeah, let's talk about what happened today with Obamacare. The American people got a dose of hope and change. We had Chief Justice John Roberts basically betray how he was presented to the American people as more of a strict constructionist of the Constitution. What we've seen lately from the immigration decision and Obamacare decision today is Chief Justice is a coward and lacks, I think, the intellect to, frankly, even sit on that court. Why do I say that? Just being a common person, someone with no legal degree. How can I say that about the Chief Justice of the highest court in the land? Well, because even myself as a simpleton understands what he did today after watching the oral arguments a couple of months ago, watching how the president and his minions presented Obamacare. We were told time and time and time again, this was not a tax. It's not a tax, it's not a tax, it's not a tax. What it is, it's a fine, it's a penalty. That's what they did. They marched up there to the Supreme Court and they made their arguments. They said this is a penalty, this is not good, this is not a tax. But they tried to get it through using the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. Well, the Supreme Court, in a way, said it failed as an issue going through the Commerce Clause. But what did Chief Justice Judas Roberts there, what did he do? Well, he decided to legislate from the damn bench. He basically changed the law and said, oh, well, I don't think it's a penalty. I don't think it's a fine. I think it's a tax. And as a tax, Congress can levy all the taxes they want. So, essentially, the government couldn't make its case to ram this down the American people's throat under the Commerce Clause. So Chief Justice Roberts took it upon himself to legislate from the bench. He's a damn fool and a coward. And I'm here to tell you, you American people, listen up. You don't know what they just opened up. What the government has said is, if you don't buy this, we're going to tax you. Well, guess what? You know what else they could do now? We don't like the car that you're driving. You can't drive a car that's older than 5 years old. If you don't buy a new car, we're going to hit you with a tax because your car is dirty and it's polluting. So we're going to either buy a new car or we're going to tax you. You think I'm crazy? Go look what they do in Japan, people. They're already doing it there. You can't have an old car. You can't have a classic car. Now without paying a big fine. What's next? They don't like your refrigerator. Your refrigerator's too old. It's not as efficient as we deem it needs to be. Tax. Oh, really? How about your washer and dryer? Oh, really? That's 10 years old? Tax. Oh, by the way, we think you're too fat. We need you to go work out. If you don't get within our body mass index, tax. That's what they just did to you guys today. That's what they did to all of us today. We have cowards on the court and cowards in Congress. And I'll tell you what, Mitt Romney, you better listen up, pal. You better not be lying to us. You better do what you say. And don't, repeal it. Don't replace. Leave that to the private industry. Leave that to insurance companies. You know what? I don't want to insure my kids till 26 years old. You know what? I don't want to. You know why? My kids are going to be responsible enough. They're going to go get their own insurance. Damn it, they're not children at age 26. What kind of people are we raising that they can't be self-sufficient at that point? Furthermore, frankly, if a private insurance company wants to charge someone additional premium to insure their kids till age 26, fine. Don't mandate it. Don't make me pay for something I don't want. What the hell is the matter with this court? What the hell's the matter with the American voter that put these idiots in there? Do you see what happens when someone says hope and change and you don't even bother to ask, what the hell does that mean? Now look at what we're getting stuck with. You know, frankly, I don't even know if this Obamacare was even constitutionally passed. It has been so messed up and moved around. I thought it originated in the Senate, and then the Senate sent it down to the House, and the House adopted the Senate bill. And then they, passed that on to the president, who gleefully signed our future away. That's unconstitutional. The damn Constitution says all bills must originate in the House of Representatives. Originate. That means it starts. Doesn't mean someone else does your heavy lifting in the Senate and then dumps it on the House, and the House says, yeah, okay, we'll adopt that. No, it means it starts in the House. They put the bill together. They pass it. They pass it on to the Senate. The Senate looks at it and says, yeah, okay, or we want some changes, and then they ratify it. And then they come up with a bill that they both agree on. Then that goes to the president. This damn thing wasn't even, created and passed through, as far as I can recall. 2,500 damn pages. And that Nazi Pelosi, she's over there, she doesn't even know what the hell's in the bill. Oh, but she said, we gotta pass the bill to know what's in it. What the hell sense is that? What the hell's wrong with you people in California that keep voting for this idiot? I'm sick and tired of paying for other people's mistakes. Now, we have the opportunity here. And again, Mitt Romney, I'll tell you, brother, a lot of people are counting on you. You better not get all linguini spine. You better sack up, son. I'm sorry, I don't know of any classy way to say it. You better not screw us over. You better do what you damn well said, and you better repeal that thing on day one. Use your executive order. And don't replace. How about this? Instead of sitting there thinking that you guys have the answers, you guys can't do squat. You can't even balance a checkbook. You can't even write a budget. You guys in Congress, you guys are the biggest bunch of goofballs. You make the Three Stooges look smart. What is so hard about balancing the damn budget? You take a look at the money that you got last year on revenue. What, about $2 trillion? Somewhere plus or minus a couple $100 billion? How hard is it to say, hey, last year we got $2 trillion? Not the money you borrowed. We got $2 trillion. That's our budget for this year. Try to stay within $100 billion. How about it, pal? I guarantee you, any hard-working middle-class guy could sit down, well, maybe with an army of other middle-class working guys and gals. We could sit down with that budget. We could sit down with a copy of the Constitution. And we can say, damn it, this isn't in the Constitution. They ought not be doing this. The federal government is not the panacea for everything. And since when have Americans become so insecure and incapable of providing for themselves that they have to go run, to the government for everything? I'm sorry. The government is going to screw up more than they fix. Like I said, I'll tell you, trust me, people, this is not the first thing they're going to ram down your throat. They are going to tax and tax and tax you. And I guarantee you, with the President Obama's hatred for fossil fuels, what did he tell you? He already told you that energy prices are necessarily going to skyrocket. He wants them to go up. No, just not as fast as they did. But he doesn't mind. Al Gore said it too. They don't mind this $6, $7, $8, $9 a gallon. They want us to be like Europe. So I'll tell you, pay attention. Pay attention to what the president says. When he says something, think about it and say, what the hell does he mean by that? But God, I just can't. I'll tell you, I can't stop thinking Mitt Romney is just, he's going to just play both ends from the middle. Damn it, Mitt, you better not do it. You better be a man of your word. Because I'll tell you what, if we elect you and you end up being another progressive or middle of the road guy and you're not a true conservative, we're going to put your ass to the curb too. The American people are sick and tired of being pushed around. We're sick and tired of carrying the burden for the irresponsible politicians in Washington that can't balance a frickin' budget. What the hell's the matter with you? I mean, $16 trillion. That's just the debt, unfunded liabilities. I've heard numbers $60 to $70 trillion. We can't pay back what you're promising. You guys can't do it. You're criminal in your actions. But all I could say, I believe in the American people. But folks, you got to get off this gravy train. You got to quit taking the handouts. It may hurt, but you got to suck it up. Turn to your friends. Turn to your churches. Turn to yourself. Have some pride. You know what? You can't always have everything when you're going through a tough time. I've gone through tough times in my life. I remember being recently married and moving from Florida to Utah with my my wife and 2 dogs and less than $100 to my name, and we had to start from that point. We did it. We did it without any public assistance. So, and the American people need to take a good, long, hard look at themselves. Look at the hole that they're digging. Look at your children. I've got 2 daughters, and I'm ashamed of what we're leaving our kids. The next generation is going to be so saddled with debt without the tools to know how to deal with it. We know better. But we don't do anything about it. These politicians, one voice, my voice alone, isn't going to do it. Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh or anybody else, their voice alone isn't going to do it. We need everybody in this country. We need to send a message that we are not going to tolerate out of control spending money we don't have, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. We can no longer say, hey, as long as I'm getting my welfare check, or as long as I'm getting my gravy, I'm just going to stick my head in the sand and play ostrich. Those days are over. That gravy's getting watered down, and that gravy's fixing to come to an end. You need to pull your head out of the sand and get out there and vote. We've got to replace this president. We've got to replace these politicians who don't have the courage to balance the budget. So, folks, Obamacare was a bust. I will still say to this day, I don't care what the court said. That is the most unconstitutional piece of legislation I've ever seen. And I am ashamed of our Chief Justice, Judas John Robert. I expected this out of Kagan and Sotomayor and that dried up old hag Ginsburg who looks to foreign courts and foreign constitutions to form her basis on decisions. Yeah, where the hell do you get that authority? But I expected out of them Breyer. I expected the 4 dimwits on the court to do what they did. Never had a clue about John Roberts. What a blindside. I mean, he just punched the American public right in the eye. Well, I know our Congress doesn't have the guts to impeach a justice who just did a power grab, took power from the Congress. They probably don't even realize it. The Chief Justice legislated from the bench. That's Congress's job. And they're too dumb or lazy to realize it. And even if they do, they're spineless and won't do anything about it. When a court acts in that manner, when you have a justice that doesn't understand what his role is, that man needs to be retired. If you feel anything the way I do. I may not be articulate or polished. You know, it's just a raw passion coming off the top of my head. If you feel any of the things, you agree with me at all, get out there and vote. Call your congressman. Write the president. This can't stand. You know, if you don't want to do something for yourself, do it for your kids. Do it for your grandkids. Do it for this country. When America falls, there's not much left in the rest of the world. We are the beacon of freedom. And don't let these progressives, dim that light. Don't let them throw a blanket over it. Don't be sheeple anymore. We can't afford it. Our kids can't afford it. So, folks, come on. Join us that have our eyes wide open. We're not asking you to be, crazy or outlandish. Just open your eyes. Pay attention. Think about what's being said. No longer listen to little catchy phrases, hope and change. It doesn't work anymore. We can't afford hope and change. We've got to know our course. We need to set that course. So, it's in your hands, and I'll join anybody in that fight, brother, sister. Just let's take this country back and let's return it to what our founders intended. All right, thank you.